entitled mum freaks out on me for eating non-vegetarian food and drinks at a barbecue place. Background. So this is a story about my 18th birthday celebrations. This takes place in India. To make my birthday special, we decided to dine at BBQ Nation, a really great place. So this is how the place works. There are barbecue grills in the middle of each table and a little flag. When you raise the flag, the staff starts bringing you barbecue on those sticks, don't know what they're called, kebab skewers? And when you put it down, they stop and you can have a buffet style main course. So since the place is usually full, you have to book online in advance and give vegetarian/non-vegetarian preferences for the barbecue. You could also book the place for special occasions. Is it just me, or you wouldn't go to BBQ Nation if you were a vegetarian, right? Or actually maybe if it was someone's birthday and you were veggie, you'd want to go. So back to the story. I, my dad, mum, my uncle and his fiancée were sitting at a table. Myself, my uncle and his fiancée are hardcore non-vegetarians. My dad eats non-vegetarian but prefers vegetarian, and my mum is pure vegetarian. Okay, I see. Me and my aunt-to-be are atheists, while mum, dad and uncle are Hindus. None of them are zealots and are very modern and never force their religion down others' throats. We have checked our reservation and settled down, and our conversation is multilingual, switching between English and Marathi as per convenience. The waiter brings in our initial barbecue. So there was an entitled mum, a nice kid and a nice husband on a table beside us, and they'd been fussing over one thing or another since we came. So as I took the first BBQ, chicken I assume, she came over to us and tapped my dad on the shoulder. "Excuse me?" "Yes?" "What is in that, may I ask?" as she points towards the mutton barbecue. Barbecue? Can you please not eat non-vegetarian food sitting beside us?" Now I'm trying to ignore the lady and get some food inside me. I'm starving when she lunges ahead and knocks out my hand. "What the F? You ungrateful child, I just stopped you from sinning. You should thank me." I try to say something but she ignores me and speaks to my dad. "You shouldn't pass your sinning habits to your child, you untranslatable no word. He should be raised in a godly way." Here we go. My dad says, "Shut up, lady. Why don't you leave my family alone and F off? I paid to be here and I will eat whatever I want." The entitled mum then turns to my mum. "As a woman, you shouldn't tolerate your husband sinning. You should divorce him and raise him yourself." "Lady, don't tell me how to raise my kids. This is a free country and I'll eat whatever I want." My mum, the darling she is, almost never swears. Now we are starting eating in earnest, and very soon the first servings had disappeared despite her objections. As the waiter came with second servings, she knocked them out of his hand. What an outrageous waste of good barbecue, I completely agree. Now, I'm furious. One thing you should know about me is that I don't follow any religion, but I am interested in the mythology and history of all of them, and have read not just the Hindu scriptures, but also the Bible and the Torah for pleasure reading. If you're so into religion, why are you spilling food, you idiot? Doesn't your religion say that food is as precious as the God who created the world? Now, she had no answer to this. Now her nice husband steps in and takes her back amid renewed shouting. He promises to pay us back before leaving, and we trust this guy. So we get yet another serving of barbecue, after which comes the funny part. My dad orders drinks for the adults. I was not yet allowed, drinking ages 21, though voting ages 18, including my uncle's fiancée. The drinks arrive, and then the EM looks wide-eyed as my uncle's fiancée drinks her alcohol. Before either her nice husband or nice kid could restrain her, she comes over to our table and sweeps the glass from the fiancée's hand. The glass falls and shatters. We were lucky that F didn't get hurt. The entitled mum then started screaming about how F was a minor and shouldn't be allowed to drink, and tries to slap her when my uncle, who's a big man, catches her hand and pushes her back forcefully. They begin a screaming match. Now, my uncle's fiancée does have a baby face and is shorter than I am, but she certainly doesn't look like a minor, as she's just a year younger than my uncle. Finally, EM says the magic words, "I want to see the manager." My uncle says, "No, I want to see the manager." The manager comes and the EM begins a rant about how my family was corrupting me, how my father was sexually abusing me and my sister. She thought the fiancé was my sister, what the F? And how F was a minor, an alcoholic hoe who shouldn't be allowed to drink, and how we'd thrown an alcoholic glass at her. Now, my uncle's fiancé is on the verge of tears as she's quite faint-hearted. She shows the manager her ID with shaking hands, and the security footage proved that the EM was talking absolute BS. us. So instead of paying only us for our barbecue serving, she'd have to pay the hotel for the glass she shattered. When she realised this, she bolted for the door, leaving NK and her nice husband behind. Her nice husband paid for all the expenses while her kid apologised. Well, it's good to see that her kid isn't tainted as well. The manager called mall security and EM was caught. We did press charges and the EM is locked up in a mental institution somewhere, while I got a free birthday cake and coupons from the hotel for all my troubles, so yay. Entitled Mum thinks she owns my phone and tries to accuse me of assault. To give some context, I live in an Asian country with a pretty high-ranking healthcare system, and the EM and her kid in question look like your typical white Karen from America. This happened yesterday in a rehab centre with many different kids of therapy, both physical and mental. So I got an injury in one of my legs a few months back, and I've been going to physiotherapy once every month just to review and do some exercise too. So I booked my cab 10 minutes early, since it would be a morning commute and traffic was smoother than I've ever seen. We literally stopped at only 1 or 2 traffic lights, and we passed by more than 10. Well, aren't you lucky? So I reached the rehab centre in the hospital 20 minutes earlier than I was supposed to, and since this is by appointment and they have strict policies, I had to wait for at least 20 more minutes for my appointment time. I take my seat closest to the front desk, and behind me was EM and her kid, yippee. All the other seats were pretty much empty, except for an old Malay couple and a Chinese family. So because I had much time to spare, I decided to play Pokemon Rumble on my phone, which is currently my favourite game right now. I hear the EM and her kid whispering behind me, then I feel the kid's looming presence behind me looking over my shoulder. This kid was pretty much a toddler, so I was fine with it. Then after about 5 minutes, he waddled up beside me and this is where the convo began. Ugh, I want game. He said it really jerkily, and before this I didn't notice it was a toddler as he was standing in his seat, making him look like an 8-year-old standing up from my perspective of the front desk. Didn't your parents teach you manners? Again, I thought it was an 8-year-old and knew better. This part was my fault. Gosh, can't you just give him a straight reply? He asked a yes or no question. Yes, she dragged it out like that. Now, for those of you who don't know Rumble, I was in arena mode, where I had to best 3 Pokemon in a set amount of time, so I really didn't want to give them any attention, as I knew if I slipped up in the slightest, I would fail. And you only get 1 chance a day. So I said no, because I don't want to ruin my chances. The kid then waddles back to his mum. Oh, OP, why wouldn't you give him your game? We've been waiting in line for half an hour, just let him have a break. Like I said, the hospital has a policy on this, so I call immediate BS. Because it's my phone, and could you not disturb me right now, I have better things to do. The entitled mum raises her voice. I am your elder and you should do as I say. Now, someone saying this was very uber super rare in my country. Excuse me? This is my property. The fact that you even phrase your question like that is absolutely ridiculous, so when I say back off, I mean back off. You know what, it's good to hear someone standing up to an entitled parent for once. Look everyone, he's bullying my son. Now, she didn't actually say my son, she actually said this child, which is intriguing to say the least. F off you jerry can of mangoes. I am used to using very weird insults. Yeah, that is a weird one. By this point, the staff from the desk came over and asked what was wrong. This boy bullied this kid and stole his phone. She looked around at everyone, but they all sensed her tomfoolery and looked away. Excuse me? Now the member of staff said, Sir, is this true? No, of course not. This is my phone. She probably can't even name its details. The entitled mum is literally raging and trying to grab my phone. Give him back his phone, you blasphemous teenager. I'm calling the cops on you. And she dialed the number 911, which made it clear she was an American who knew nothing about the laws of this land. I go straight up to the EM's face. Listen here and listen well. I don't care what the F you and your son want, but I'm gonna tell you this. If you touch me or my phone even once, I will personally unhinge your jaw and make him swallow it. I jabbed my thumb at her kid, who was silently sitting down. Help, he's assaulting me, rape! By this time, 2 security guards came because the staff called them, who will henceforth be dubbed as SG1 and SG2. The first security guard literally almost tackles me because rape is a really big crime here. Move away, sir. He almost handcuffs me. The second one, a little more sensibly, says, wait, hold on, that kid looks like he's done nothing wrong. Yes he has, he clearly bullied this small child and stole his phone. Then he threatened me and raped me and assaulted me. I'm now much calmer since security is here. Listen, there are cameras everywhere here, and there are other people. Do you really want to do this? EM is now wailing like an abominable waffle. He raped me, he is a rapist, he sexually assaulted me. Mom, please calm down. We will check the camera footage. Now, if you could quietly follow us, please. But he stole things and raped me. You're really gonna take this boy's side? She said boys with pure and utter disgust. The first security guard is now also sensing this tomfoolery. Mom! The racist nut banshee shuts up finally. I said follow us to check the footage. If he raped you, we will arrest him, but if he didn't, you will face many charges. The EM then turns paler than a pie-eating shark socket. We go now. We went to check the camera footage and lo and behold, my innocence I lost 10 minutes ago. What do you have to say now? She was detained until the cops came. I was there too, except I got cookies and the child was taken into one of the therapy rooms. Luckily I got released and got to go to my appointment with an effing 2-hour delay though, that tone-deaf taint biscuit. I don't know if I can press charges, I'm still a minor, but I got off scot-free for now. Well, you did nothing wrong. Thank you guys so much for reading my little rant here. I hope you got slight entertainment out of this and have a good day everyone. Anyway, if you enjoyed that video, go and check out another one right away. There are so many more Reddit stories on my channel for you to enjoy. Also, drop me a comment below if there's another subreddit that I haven't looked at yet and you want to see in the next video.